Hey everyone, it's Lainey. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. I have such a cute card to show you today. This is a new addition to my collection from Fawn. It's called Flamingo Together and it's got the two flamingos, and this one's a little bit bigger with a larger beak. So I'm assuming that that is the male, and then the female there has a little eyelash, I guess, and she's a little bit smaller. And then you've got the sentiments: we flamingo together, you flamingo girl, oh the places you'll flamingo, and I'll stand by you flamingo. Super cute and funny as well, in addition to some hearts and flowers and then the palm trees. So to begin, we're going to start with stamping. So I'm going to be using both of the flamingos today. So we'll just position them and get them clean to that door. They are brand new, so they are quite sticky still. Uh-oh, I did that one backwards. That one's not going to stamp. Okay. And I'm going to be using Memento ink. And I have been looking into Fawn's black ink. If you've used it, please let me know in the comments down below and how you like it. And, you know, I'm sure it pairs great with alcohol markers because Fawn is all about the stamping and coloring. But that's kind of what I'm interested in. Okay, so making sure my panel is nestled in that corner still and just giving it a double press so that outline is thick and vibrant. Okay, and I'll just set this to the side and let this ink dry before I bring out my alcohol markers. So while our flamingos are drying, I want to cut down my panel. I've been enjoying a larger margin, so I've been cutting down my panel quite a bit more. So I'm going to cut it down at 3.5 by, let's try 4 3/4, and then I'll bring in my card base. Yep, and that is perfect. You'll be able to see this a little better once we fold our card base. I originally wanted to use ballet slipper. I've used it a couple times and it's already pretty much dried out. So I've mentioned that before, that is happening with some of my Concord and 9th inks. Unfortunately, some of them come in just super saturated, like this one. And then the ballet slipper, that one was just kind of a dud. So I'm gonna bring in my blending brush here. And I want to come in really light, and you know, I'll have to, it's a little lighter than I anticipated, but that's perfect. Well, I got a lot more ink on that one. Okay. So I just want to do some ink blending on the panel in kind of like a circular motion. I knew when I purchased, or before I purchased it, as soon as I saw it, I knew that I had to have this little flamingo set because I wanted to do a pink on pink card. Okay, so I kind of got a little blotchiness right there, but I think we'll make it work. Okay, so that is pretty much done. Let me just kind of get the rest of what's on my brush on this panel, just kind of rounding off this ink blending part. Okay, and using that same color, I'm going to stamp those palms on our panel as well. So I have them all pulled to the side, and There's, like I mentioned earlier, there's a larger one and a smaller one. So I'm going to stamp them separate, but I'm just bringing in both so I make sure that wherever I put the trunk, I have room for the palm itself. Okay. So let's stamp up the trunk. Perfect. And I'm going to clean off the door. And now position the top part of the palm over, kind of putting the palm a little over that trunk. Okay. Perfect. So cleaning that off so I can reposition or find their position on the other side here. Okay, perfect. So we've got our larger palms, and now we're going to bring in our minis, and I want those just inside, and I'm going to have them positioned further down, which would actually be the opposite, because if they're smaller trees, that means they're further in the distance. Like shorter trees would be further in the distance. But, you know, I'm just making up my own rules here. I just want them to, I guess it could just be a baby palm. Yeah, we'll just say that it's a baby palm and it just hasn't grown as tall. All right, our final stamp here. And just continuing to position my panel to make sure that it's nestled in the corner, so everything is aligned as I want it to be. And there I have it. Super cute. So this is what our panel looks like. And I love the pink on pink with the pink palms. I think the palms just really tie this whole scene together. All right, so now a little bit of coloring. I pulled some pinks here, and let's bring in our panel and let me, just kind of swatch them out. Okay, so that is a very close pink. That is definitely too vibrant. And so is that one. Okay, so what I'm thinking, let's use the first two, and these are Amazon. They're Ohuhu. They have a fine tip and a brush tip. These are great alcohol markers for starting out. So many card makers start out with these. But I do want to mention that this is the one with the fine tip. The other one, they have other ones on Amazon with the brush and the chisel tip. So when I first ordered my set, I ordered the wrong one. So then I had to return them and really pay attention to the description because I wanted the fine and the brush. And I have, I believe, 3 different sets of the Ohuhu. And I will link them all down below. And then also I will put in, or I will list the colors that I'm using today. So what I'm using is fruit pink and pink. Okay, so I'm going to use the pink, and I'm just going to color the entire flamingo with this pink, and then I will come back in and add another layer or two to add a little more detail to the wings. Okay, and then I'll use the other color, the fruit pink, for the beak. Okay, so I'm going to just color the second flamingo, our cute little girl, all over. and then I'll come back in with that second coat. All right, so now I'm going to come in with my fine tip here and just add a little more color to the top of the wing. And repeat on the second little flamingo here. And I think I'm going to add just another little bit along the base of the body. Super cute. Let's just repeat on the second one as well. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in that other color and just using the fine tip to fill in that beak. Perfect. Those colors pair so well together. Okay. All right, so now I think we need to add a little bit of detail with our Jelly Roll pen. And well, I tested it out, but sometimes these, you just don't want to come out. Okay, so it is hard to make out at this point. Let me turn my work. It's starting to come out better. Alrighty, and then, so what I'm doing is just a line and a dot. I'm doing them opposite of each other, one on top of the wing and one on the belly. And the female looks so much better. The male just doesn't want to take that jelly roll, but you can see a little bit of detail now with that white accent. So let's go ahead and trim this down. And I'm going to be using my mini die cutting machine. So I'm going to lock it onto my glass mat, and let's go ahead and cut out our cute little flamingos. And I really love this die because you'll see it when it cuts out. It cuts out in between the legs too. Okay, and when I ordered this, I didn't realize it was two different size flamingos, but I like the variety. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my base plate and my cutting plate, get this aligned. Okay, so now we've got our flamingos, and look at the pairing of the pink. I love it. It is so pretty. Now we need our sentiment. So I'm going to use my mini Misty and just bring everything over. And I initially was thinking to have the sentiment down at the bottom, but I kind of positioned everything kind of further down. So let's see if we can. I want to do the wee flamingo together. I think having it up at the top will be fine. We'll just have to figure out positioning, and it's going to be, the text is going to be interacting with part of that ink blending, which I think will be a nice addition to the card. So I'm thinking something like that. So what I will stamp first is the flamingo, and making sure that that is straight. So let's move the other two texts here. Okay, I can move my flamingos now since we are not going to be putting the sentiment down at the bottom because there's just not enough room. Okay, so very nervous here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the flamingo with the black ink. Let's make sure our panel is positioned. So cute. And I love how this is going to be pairing a sans serif font with a script font. Looking at it, I feel like it's not straight. I feel like it's kind of slanting. Let's see. No, it is fine. So we flamingo together. Super cute. Alrighty. A little bit of labor of love with those little texts. I need to do that a little more so I can get some more practice. But I'm also just horrible at aligning things. So my card base is an A2 size. So I'm going to go ahead and magnetize that down. And now we can build up our card. I had to wash my hands because I had ink on them and I was getting it everywhere. I'm going to use my foam tape here and line it up along the edge. Uh-oh. And take my wonderful non-stick scissors. Perfect. And let's turn this over. I like to just build up my panels. I just like how it visually looks, along with, you know, having a smaller panel to work with because of the margins, like I stated earlier. It's just something that I've been doing to all of my cards lately. And I like to start on the outside and then work my way in. To remove the strips. Okay. Sorry if my head's in the way. I just want to make sure that it's positioned. And I always have to hold it up. I don't know. It's just me. Alrighty. So now you can see that larger margin, and I just absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so now let's make our cute little flamingos permanent. And because everything is flat on our panel, the ink blending, our sentiment, I definitely want to add some dimension to the flamingos as well. I'm going to bring in my pop dots from Dollar Tree and just add them to the flamingo. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to trim some. So it, you know, I have a half of one here. That will be for the beak. And then I'll have to trim some down for the legs because I want to make the entire flamingo sturdy. Okay, so you can see how I just kind of had to trim some of those circles down to add them to the legs. So now I just need to remove the backers and then we'll make them permanent, and then we'll definitely have to add some embellishments here. I'm really thinking the dewdrops, but I'll look through what I have and kind of see what will be best. Alrighty, so I removed all the backers, so we are sticky, sticky. And I'm going to position our larger one, our guy, first. And then let's bring in the cute little girl. So I'm making sure that their feet are even the best that I can. Perfect. It is so cute. So this is what we've got so far. We flamingo together, and you can see the nice margin and the dimension. I brought in some embellishments. We have some pearls in 3 different sizes. The pearls are cute. I also obviously have the dewdrops. I brought in the silver and these pinks, but the pinks are off. So let me open up this silver one and see how this looks. These are from Hobby Lobby. No, I'm definitely going to go with the dewdrops. I think that these will be just a nice added dimension and texture without taking away from the other elements that we worked on. I think I'm only going to add 3, and I'm using 2 small ones and 1 size up. And I wasn't recording when I was kind of playing with them, but I literally just set them down just like this, and then decided just to kind of spread them out a bit. And super simple, but just adding a little bit to kind of tie it all in together. So we've got the 1 up there and the 2 down here, and that is the finished card. I am loving it. I think I want to do another one and try to incorporate some kind of feather, but we'll see if I can make that work. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel and the video as well. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.